up? Hold on, let me turn this up. I hope you guys are doing well. Okay. I didn't put nothing in the description box. I told you guys I'm on vacation. Okay, so I don't even have my cards, but even before I went on vacation, I have been having a lot of dreams, a lot of downloads, a lot of things I can't explain, but I'm gonna try to, right? About a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, I had a very, 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 very intense dream about Labubus. I did a reading on Labubus. It's definitely on my channel. You can definitely still go watch it. And that dream was extremely creepy. And basically, the boo-boos were coming to life. And it's crazy, the day I had that dream, you guys, I was trying to get ready for work at like 7 something in the morning. But when I tried to go live and do the video, it was just something was telling me, hold off until you're ready. Hold off until you're ready to really talk about it. So I wasn't necessarily ready. So I had to wait. And I remember the reading on them and how I felt. And when I'm do you guys know the next 2 days after I did that Labubu reading, I tried to come online before I tried to come online again, and I literally couldn't speak. Something was just so, it creeped me out so much, and it made me feel so low vibrational that I couldn't even speak. Because after I did that Labubu reading and I went back into my house, something did not feel right. So I had to cleanse my house. I had to cleanse my house. I had to cleanse my body. Like, when I tell y'all those Labubus are actually gateways and portals into deeper and darker realms than all of us could ever imagine, I'm telling you right now. There's a reason why I did a reading on Labubus, and there's a reason why Spirit keeps showing me dreams about these things, and that there's something seriously wrong with those dolls. And I've never, since so, you know how there's so many things that are placed upon us, and there's so many tricks of the devil that are placed upon us. But since these Labubus have come out, and since I've done a reading on these Labubus, you guys, I'm telling you, something is demonically going on. But it's just the same thing that I said in that reading. And it's really creepy. And it's causing people to act. It opens portals into people not acting with humanity. Excuse me. That's what the Labubus do. They open up demonic portals into a human's mind, a human's action, a human's interaction with another human. When I had the dream about the Labubus, I saw them around a certain celebrity. And I don't want to say that certain celebrity just in case something does happen, but because you guys on this channel, I've made too many predictions. I've made so many predictions, and if you get a personal reading from me, I tell you in a personal reading, I don't do predictions because I don't. If something comes to me and I gotta tell you, fine, that's cool. But in a reading for real, I don't do predictions. Because sometimes I really do feel like I get extremely accurate predictions, and I don't want to feel like I'm taking the place of a prophetess. I don't call myself a prophetess. I just understand that I'm connected in a way that is extremely deep, that if I don't open my mouth, I'll start to feel extreme depression and anxiety. So I have to talk to you guys about the things that I see in the visions and the dreams and the revelations and certain things like that, because I feel like it's extremely important. And there's a lot going on around children and younger people that we need to be extremely careful about right now. But yeah, getting off of the Labubu and the Labubu dreams and me telling you guys about that. So I had a dream last night about a ritual sacrifice, and I have never had a dream like this before. I've had dreams about cannibals. I've had dreams about banshee spirits. I've had so many kinds of dreams about people in my life, old people, new people, you know what I'm saying? But last night I saw firsthand, and the dream was so realistic that I couldn't even talk for like a good 10-15 minutes after I had the dream. I couldn't even talk about it. All I did, as soon as I woke up, I started praying. Even in my dream, at the end of my dream, I was in a deep state of prayer, and I was crying in my prayer. And I was in a forest, and it was very familiar to me because at one point I used to go to this place called Wolf Lake. If you are in the South Miami area, you might know Wolf Lake. It's beautiful. It's a forest with 2 lakes, huge woods. There's horses. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And this place reminded me of Wolf Lake. And I just remember exploring, and all of a sudden I stumble upon what looks like a ritual site in the middle of the forest, and candles and sigils and herbs and all kinds of stuff. And trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. I stumble upon 2 dead female bodies. Now, this dream was so realistic, you guys. Like I said, I couldn't even talk about it to my partner when I woke up because I was so jolted, and I was genuinely freaked out. And when I found the bodies, these 2 men walked out of the forest, and they were just staring at me with these eyes that looked very inhuman. And when I found these bodies, I took pictures of them, and I said, I'm gonna show the police. I'm gonna show the police. The police have to see this. Because these women, it was women, they were so beautiful. And I feel a lot of beautiful people with beautiful auras and big destinies are targeted for these rituals, so that the celebrities, politicians, whoever else, rich families, whoever else, can use these people's energy and beauty and all of that to sustain their life and get what they want in life, because they're not naturally blessed with that glory. So they have to go and do something as heinous as taking a life to get that glory, right? So, like I said, trigger warning. You know, this is not for the weak of heart, but people, they really do make sacrifices out here. Like I said, rich families, celebrities, politicians, even people that want to get rich that are poor. You know what I'm saying? They need energy, a soul to get to where they want to get to. So I also feel like this is a warning for somebody. If you are around somebody and you feel like they want to use you or your energy or something's not right, it's because they do. So pay attention. That's a message for someone, because when I tell you guys, this dream was so freaking vivid. I literally just, when I woke up, I thought I was crying. That's how vivid the dream was. I thought I was crying and screaming like how I was doing in my dream. So these men walk out of the forest and I tell them, I'm gonna go to the police. You're not gonna get away with this. I was speaking with such fire in this dream. I was like, damn, I'm on fire in this dream. What's going on? But when you're a real spiritual warrior, you really feel God in your heart and you feel God in your body. That's how you move in your life. You move with such fire because you're not gonna let that demonic, satanic energy seep within you. You're just not gonna let that happen. It's not gonna happen. And you will be shocked at how many people are targeted for these kinds of rituals. And that's what I've told you guys. Social media was created to target people that are targeted towards fame and money, so you could be an easy target, so they can come grab you up and use you for these money rituals, use you so they can kill you and take your soul, take your energy. That's why I'm not on social media, you guys. YouTube is the only social media I have. That's it. I don't have Instagram, I don't have Twitter, I don't have none of that. It's important that you don't. And I get that it's so normalized, but that's the point of it, is to be so normalized. Because that's where a lot of these people that get used in these rituals, that's where they get found, is through social media. And they want money, and there's all these promises of travel and new life. There are so many people on social media, online, and in real life, that look for people that are looking for more or feel like they can't obtain more. That's why it's important to go and get it by yourself. Even if you got to work 2 jobs, go to school, 3 jobs, go to school, do that. Because there are people out here that are sharking on people that don't want to work that hard, or people that want an easy way out. Do you understand? Gotta be very careful, you guys. Because every time I get on YouTube and I get on the camera, you guys are like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. Why are you not on Instagram? Blah, blah, blah. Because there is a lot of dark energy on Instagram and places like Twitter that are looking for people to literally suck the energy and the light out of. And you gotta be careful, extremely careful. But let me finish this dream. Somehow in the forest, I was able to get away from these 2 men that had did the ritual on these 2 girls. And when I clearly saw what it was, I said to myself in the dream, oh my God, these girls were a part of a ritual. And I was crying, but I was like, I'm going to take pictures and I'm going to make sure the police knows about this. Right? Remember I told you in my dream, I took pictures of the dead bodies. Like I said, trigger warning. This is not for the faint of heart. This is very intense. But this is really something that happens to a lot of missing and murdered people. and why it's important to be careful of who you think you want to be friends with, who you think you want to date, who you think is your family member, who you think is your church member, who you think is your coworker, who you think is yourself. Because even we can deceive ourselves into a situation that we know we shouldn't be in, and people we know we shouldn't be around. Something about timing right now, Spirit has been telling me, is very crucial. So crucial that people can lose their lives. So make sure you understand who you are around. I don't care if you know them since day 1 or day 3,000. I don't care. Pray for more discernment on opportunities, on things that might look like gold, but there's shit underneath. So I went running around town. I don't know why in this dream I ended up in the mall. It's very weird. Very fucking weird. In this dream I ended up in the mall that's in my city. And I was looking for the police. But when I looked behind me, those 2 men I told you about, I saw in the forest. Right before I ran off, they told me, if you tell about our ritual, it won't work. So those 2 men knew I was gonna tell. So I went around looking for the police to show the police. Remember I told you at the scene of the ritual I took pictures because I said, these men are not gonna get away with this. I'm telling the police. So I finally find the police. And I go to, I said, hey, I just found 2 dead bodies. And in the dream, I was hysterical. I was crying, I was screaming. I mean, imagine finding something like that. You would feel very out of body. In my dream, I felt like I was out of my body. And I went to my phone to find the pictures that I had just taken. There were no pictures in my phone. There were no pictures at all in my phone anymore. It was empty. My whole camera roll was empty. You guys. And something inside of me feels like there have been people that have actually stumbled upon these kinds of things. And when they went to tell or show somebody, all the evidence was erased. And these men that I caught in the forest with these 2 dead bodies, they told me, we're doing this for a celebrity. Straight up. When those 2 men saw me and I started fighting back in the spirit, and they set up and they told me, we're doing this for celebrities. We get paid for this. And I'm telling you, like, I don't even want to describe how the bodies were because it's already traumatizing. I'm sure hearing me talk about this, but it's just the way everything was set up, the way it looked, it was so occultic, and it was so demonic, and it was so evil, and there's so many people that go missing every single second. And I'm telling you, these people, you guys, are being used in so many different kinds of rituals, for energy, for souls, for money, for fame, for blockages, for whatever it is, for love even. Be careful of opportunities that don't seem right. Listen to your discernment. Pray for more discernment. Pray for more wisdom. Pray for more clarity. Because there's a lot of people out there that are searching for people that they can use right now for rituals. And there's something about people going missing that people know about, but nobody says nothing as well. What's that young man who was in a fight with Balenciaga, and now he is a mannequin in a window and people say they actually think it's him, I might put that in the thumbnail because that's the kind of energy I'm getting. Like people that are lured in by these either companies or governments, lower class families, higher class families, whatever it is. But it's deep and it's dark, and I've never had a dream this vivid before about rituals like this. I've definitely had the dreams before. This isn't my first time. Don't get me wrong. This is not my first time at all. I've definitely had these dreams before, but this time it was something much more serious about it, and about how everything that you see that looks nice and nice cars and a penthouse and a beachfront and all that stuff is no. It's fake. It's a plan. It's a manipulation. And if you're easily manipulated by things that might look a little decent, a little hot tub, a little hotel room, I hate to say it like this, but you're a perfect candidate. It's time to stop idolizing material items and large sums of money and things like that, because there is a lot of people that are lured out by things like that and they're never seen again. Or you can be like the young man I feel like I could be channeling as well, and you could be a mannequin in a store window. So I definitely might try to find that picture in you, because I'm getting like goosebumps now that I'm talking about that young man who told Balenciaga, "You stole my design." I cannot remember the name of that young man. I have to remember it. And I have to put it in the title because that's one of the energies that I'm getting as I'm telling you guys about my dream. And remember, he came at Balenciaga, said, "Y'all stole my designs." And then Balenciaga came back and said, "Listen, like, we don't want no, basically, we don't want no beef," right? That's what Balenciaga said in the email back to this young man. And now there's a mannequin sitting in a store window that looks just like him, that looks extremely lifelike. And I know there's been a couple people that have talked about this mannequin. I think it's in Spain or Italy or Milan, or I know it's somewhere in Europe. My clock's not even moving.